Hey, welcome back to Jazz Hands Piano. Hope you're well. Thanks for all your subscriptions. That really motivates me to think of some new stuff to put up. We've started the Autumn Leaves mini-series recently, and I hope some of you finding that helpful. We'll be doing the next part in that very soon. It's going to be on improvisation, so that'll be an interesting thing if you're starting out with that. Today I'm just doing a little sidestep because I wanted to talk about this Kenny Kirkland solo. Basically, with my students, one of the things I do is start them off on a blues tune, and very often it's Route 66. It's a blues in B flat, and I'm very lucky to have a recording by Kenny Kirkland with Vivian Lord of this tune. If you look it on YouTube, you'll find it. Vivian Lord with Kenny Kirkland, and it might be Jeff Tame-Watts on drums. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember who the bass player is. Absolutely great CD or album, and good tunes on it, including this one. And he's all over the solos, man, as I'm sure you will know. I actually have transcribed the full solo from that, but that would be a really long video to get into that. So what I've done is just chosen a chorus. The first chorus has some real challenges in it, so I'm starting on the second chorus, and it's just a 12-bar blues in B flat with some of the variations, which we'll come into. I've actually started on the bar before it because there's a turnaround on it, which is just a great piece of blues vocab, really. So I wanted to share that with you. But here's basically what we'll be talking about, and then once I've played it, we can get into it. Yeah. So we're starting on the dominant chord, F, sharp and fifth into B flat. Yeah, and that's how he ends it. I haven't written that little bit out, but the rest of it I have, and you can download that below. So, coming into this, the first thing we have is that lovely little... Any serious blues pianist should have that lick. Yeah, so all it is it's an E flat 7 voicing. You can use that as a run as well. It back down to B flat. So what happens is we have a tritone between the D flat and the G, which corresponds with the sharp and fifth in F. So actually, if it's the sharp and fifth, it should be a C sharp, shouldn't it? And then down the E flat 7, and then we're into B flat, the tonic. And what he does is triad of the third, the fifth, and the root. First inversion, B flat chord, and then the tonic he uses here, he uses as a pivot between this little passing chord into chord 4. So what is that? It's a chromatic move down into E flat. So it's an E9 with an added 6 is what I call these chords. And with the B flat constant to both of them. And then we have a diminished chord just coming back round to the B flat. I'm playing this as a G diminished, but actually in real terms it's really a B flat diminished, isn't it? So, and then we're back to B flat, the tonic, and then we're carrying on. So bar 4. So here we in another situation you might go and keeping to the B flat. Kenny's got a little bit of a trick up his sleeve for us, because we're going upwards. It almost looks as if we might be doing a B flat major 7 figure, but actually what's happening is he's brought our old friend the E9 with the added 6th back. So and what fits very nicely over that is a D major 7, major 9 with the E at the top, and then we're just coming down. If you like, we're just coming down the dominant E. There's probably several ways to interpret that, and then we're just coming nicely back to the B flat on top, back to the tonic, but with chord 4, which is where we should be in the blues progression. And then keeping going in bar 7, another little blues lick. Just a really simple one. This is what I love about his playing, actually. He dropped these really lovely, very classic blues things, and then he'll go off into something completely abstract, and it's all mixed together in a very, you know, inimitable style. So then, and this is you know, proof of the pudding, because from here we're going straight into a sequence of rhythmic sequence, which is really one of his unique points, the way he does something like this. So the first thing is that he very often uses his hands in the way a drummer might, so like playing one off against the other. So, and one of his favourite tricks is to do triplets, so the first 2 triplets in the right hand, and then with a chord answering it in the left hand. So bada ba bada ba bada ba bada ba ba. So here he, not always, but mostly. So for instance, in bar 9, in beats 2, 3 and 4, he does that. So is you know, an exact example of what I'm talking about. But as with everything, it's not an exact art. So what happens is this. So all those rhythmic things happening between the 2 hands. But what's happening harmonically here, I hear you ask. So and that's what I'm here to talk about. So from B flat here, he's actually going to do a little chromatic sequence which will lead us back to chord 2. And in fact, in the first chorus he does this, and it's from the first chorus sequence that I think he's taking this as well. And the first chorus does this, etc. So what he's done is from B flat, he's gone down chromatically. So A13, A flat 13, G13, F sharp 13. And then actually he just, at that point he drops to C. This time he's just really doing from, he goes down a couple of parts in that sequence and then straight to the C. So we have, in bar 8, we start with B flat, and then, so we have G major 7, with a D triad on top, so G major 9. And then this little dissonant thing, which I'm sure he means, but I'm just going to call it a D flat triad for the moment over the G flat major 7. That makes it a G flat major 9. So this is where the rhythmic sequence starts. Then he's just using a couple of notes here from the G flat altered scale, and then we're into the C sharpened ninth, C7 sharpened ninth dominant chord for bar 10. It has to be this chord for what's coming next, because he's just given us a little inkling of what's coming here, where he does the in bar 9. He's now going to go to town, because he's really playing on the juxtaposition of the E natural and the E flat notes in the C sharp ninth chord. So we start with the tritone between B flat and E, and then we have this little dissonance right there between E flat and E. So then the next sequence is from E flat down to E natural, and then E natural and B flat tritone in the left hand. So we've got, no, I say, but it keeps going. So the next thing is, what's this? That's these are some different notes not in the chord. Where are they coming from? One of the things about Kenny that I have loved for a long time, and that I've adopted in my own playing, is his use of the whole tone scale. So over a dominant scale, you can use any note from the whole tone scale, and he's using these as passing notes, if you like. So like a lower approach, upper approach, and then sharp and fifth. So sharp fifth, third, seventh. This is his continuation of these cheeky little dissonances. He's playing a B natural in the bass. So he's carried on this thing from the E's now down to the B's. Why has he done that? Well, if you notice, we're now at the F7 part of the sequence, the dominant, and if you take an F7 with a sharpened fifth and you put the tritone substitution on the bass, which is B, then that will take you very nicely to B flat 7. So it's not completely out there. It actually makes sense. So, and it goes so well with that sequence. Yeah, and so then he just finishes off with this lovely flurry, very Charlie Parker, just a sequence of enclosures. So a C enclosure starting on B flat, and then continuing into a D enclosure. So dominant enclosure really, into the back into the tonic. So all together we have and there it goes again. This B natural actually makes sense because our next chord is going to be chord 6, and he's going to do the 13th flat and 11th, C sharp 9th, F sharp 5th, and back to B flat. So, and that's it. It's a very charming little passage, and the whole solo is really a great study in Kenny's playing. So hope that helps. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up down there. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It makes a difference when people subscribe because it just motivates me to do more videos, which which is a win-win, really, you know. Yeah, so onwards and upwards, we're going to be doing the improv video next of the mini-series on autumn leaves. I look forward to seeing some of you there, and I hope you get some good drills out of this. There's some amazing drills potentially from this. Just, you know, find the bits you like and then turn them into exercises. You know, maybe one day I'll do a video on that as well. Thank you very much for listening. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.